Hello and welcome into Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube. My name is Grant Prather. I'm here with Damian Traylor. We're going to be previewing this game between your Piedmont Lions and the Covenant Scots. It should be a good one, Damian.
Yes, sir. Piedmont coming off a dominant win against Wesleyan College on Sunday, with junior Brooklyn Begley leading all scorers with 14 points. Piedmont will look to continue their dominant trail in this CCS conference, hopefully going to go 7-0 against this Covenant Scots team.
Yeah, starting undefeated, I mean, not an easy thing to do in this conference. There's a lot of tough competition. Covenant at 3-2, but that 6-0 record is a good thing for this Piedmont roster, who is without a pretty big player in this lineup tonight, Andolyn Hill.
Yeah, man, without Andolyn Hill, we're going to need our other players to step up. We have Alexander Willis, and then we also have Ava Hunter coming off the bench as far as bigs-wise, but we also have other scorers like Ashley Scott, Kennedy Henson. You know, we have scores like that to help, bridge the gap between Andolyn's big loss. I mean, she's a 14-point per game scorer and 11 rebounds a game, so we're definitely going to need everybody to step up for sure.
And you mentioned Ashley Scott, number 11. She's averaging about 10 points a game. Hasn't been the most efficient year for many means of her shooting the ball. Doesn't distract that it could change tonight. She's having a good year. You mentioned Ava Hunter. The UNG transfer has been such a big piece coming off the bench, almost a sixth man. Just great for rebounding. So dominant in the post, which is fairly tall Covenant team. What are you looking for in the interior battle tonight?
Interior-wise, man, I just hope for at least Piedmont that we can be able to still get rebounds because, Andolyn was a big rebounder, like I said, averaging 11 points a game. Interior-wise, Alexander Willis, Ava Hunter once again. We're all going to need to crash those boards because Covenant is a very good rebounding team.
And we know that Alex Willis can do what she needs to do. She was a CCS Rookie of the Year last year. Pretty much a walking double-double if she starts a game. Another thing to note, Covenant averaging 25 turnovers a game, so that could be one thing to look for with ball security. Piedmont not exactly known for their steals. That's more the men's forte. But this women's team has a very stout defense, especially on the interior, and also Piedmont's offensive rebounds. I mean, it seems like every time we watch a game, they're getting at least 3 shots every single possession. I mean, what do you think goes into that?
I mean, Grant, once again, it's our bigs. We have a 3-headed monster at big. Well, 2-headed today, but usually we have a 3-headed monster with Andolyn Hill, Alexander Willis, and then Ava Hunter as well. If we can be able to still get rebounds, though, without Andolyn, we should be able to do just fine against this Covenant team.
Yeah, and a Tuesday afternoon, very interesting time to see, getting towards the middle of the season, but this should be a really interesting matchup. We're going to bring the broadcast to you in about 10 minutes. So without further ado, we're going to send it on back. Don't go anywhere or get a snack if you need to. You're watching Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube.
Welcome everyone to Piedmont Athletics on YouTube, where you will be seeing your Piedmont Lady Lions against the Covenant Scots today. Today I'm here with my partner in crime, Grant Prather, and Peter Sly on the camera. Now Grant, we have a pretty good game today, but for the Lions we are short of an important player, Andolyn Hills, our back soreness today. What's your output on that?
Yeah, so Andolyn, I mean, back soreness from carrying this team. I mentioned that to you earlier. Averaging a double-double, just an insane piece to start, but in her stead, we're going to have some good players on the big side. The starters, we're going to see those in a bit, but that's going to be a big gap that the Lions are going to need to fill here. People like Kennedy Henson, people like Alex Willis going to be in those new starting positions as Coach Timmy McCormack of the soccer team is going to call them out here. But it's going to be an interesting battle on the interior because we're used to seeing this Lions team on a tear offensive rebounding.
Now, Grant, before this game starts, can you give me the Piedmont Lady Lions starting lineup?
Yes, of course. So Nene Eads is going to start it off. She normally runs the point guard. Kennedy Henson is going to run basically the 4 role, along with Ashley Scott and Kelsey Banks. And then, of course, the CCS Rookie of the Year last year, Alex Willis, is going to be rounding it out. She'll be the person to start in Andolyn Hills' stead. What about for Covenant, Damian? What you got for them?
For the Scots, we have Abby Witt at forward, Hannah Edson at guard, Amanda Neff at guard, Lucy Benson at guard, and Breezy Savage at guard as well.
Man, Breezy Savage, what a name. I mean, you couldn't ask for any better as an announcer. That's great.
Speaking of Breezy Savage is the leading scorer for this Covenant Scots team, averaging over 14 points per game.
Definitely going to be a person to look out for. She's, I believe, the shortest in this Covenant Scots lineup. Covenant decked out in their typical blue. They normally have some pretty nice looking uniforms, but of course Piedmont in the white and green. Alex and Abby Witt are going to be the people to tip this one off right about on time, 4:59. Maybe we're waiting till that ticks to 5 o'clock officially. And according to Apple, the tip-off is going to come at 4:59 as it'll go the Scots' way. Benson's going to go to the top of the key. This one is to Edson. Covenant going to take their time in this opening possession, looking for a good look to start it off. Savage wanted the ball on the wing, but not to be. Edson again is going to drive in, kicks to the corner, back to Savage. Savage guarded by Eads, going to go back to the corner. Neff's going to go inside, tipped away by Scott, and it's going to stay in the Lions' possession.
Man, Grant, I mean, the last time the Lions were in this building here, I mean, they were suffocating Belhaven's offense, which is also one of the best offenses in the CCS conference. So what do you think the women can do today for Piedmont to at least lock this Covenant team up?
More of the same. I think they're going to be doing a lot of inside-outside, not a lot of mid-range work, as we're having a little bit of a shot clock issue. They went for 4 seconds on the shot clock and had it the same on the game clock. But yeah, more of the same, keeping the interior stout. This Covenant team is pretty decent rebounding. They're not the most efficient scoring team in the world, but as now, of course, Benson's going to go inbound this, and Savage is going to sit in the corner. So Henson's going to have that job to guard her in the corner. There is just a couple seconds left on the shot clock as the amazing student worker squad down there is getting this all figured out. And we'll be back underway.
Piedmont, coming off of a dominant win against Wesleyan College, looks to increase their win percentage to 7-0 in conference.
And Nene Eads blocked Savage on that 3-point attempt, and that'll be a shot clock violation. So like we were talking about, those important defensive possessions, forcing a lot of time, suffocating any possible looks, and that'll be another shot clock issue, but we're just getting them out of the way early. Nothing too crazy.
Man, speaking about Nene East has had a very impressive season so far. I mean, I remember talking to Coach Purdy in the season preview. She was talking about Nene East being a player that could step up this year after losing seniors like Lakin Styles and Lou Woolfolk.
Yeah, she's really just been almost a carbon copy of Lou Woolfolk, but I mean, honestly, she's really vocal too. Lou didn't really have that vocality, as that one's going to be stolen away by Savage. Good rip out, and Savage is going to go with the left, and it's rejected by Scott off the backboard, rebounded by Henson. And the Lions are going to run in transition here. It's Eads, and she'll pull it back out. Great block by Ashley Scott, man. And Henson's top of the key. Willis will screen for Scott. Scott will get at the top of the key. She's guarded by Benson. And Willis will set the screen. Scott pulls from the 3, and it's off the back of the rim. Rebounded by Willis. More offensive rebounds as Willis is going to drive right and will be fouled by Hannah Edson.
Yeah, Alex Willis, man, like you said, CCS Rookie of the Year last year, hasn't had much of a, you could say, big impact as she did last year, but that's because she has other people helping her out, just like Andalyn Hill, who's had a very luxurious senior year, and you got the UNG transfer Ava Hunter.
Of course, we'll see Hunter later in this game. That foul was actually on Amanda Neff, so pardon my mistake. But Henson, looking to make no mistakes, will go inside to Willis. Willis with 7 on the clock is going to turn around, put it up, and she will be fouled. Good physicality by Willis, and Neff is going to pick up her second foul in 80 seconds. And in her stead, Brooklyn Conrad's going to have to step in. So Covenant coach seeing that early foul trouble, not a good thing you want to see as a team.
Neff being Covenant's leading assist leader on their team today. I mean, they cannot afford to lose her if they want to beat this #1 team in the CCS conference in Piedmont.
And an interesting thing to note about Neff, she's 5'10", and she's their leader in assists. Maybe she is a very big post passer. Obviously, I haven't watched film, as that one looks like a lane violation. And the bucket will stand. Looks like that probably was on Covenant. So it's 1-0 Lions. And they're going to stick in a zone press here. Looks like a 2-1-2 with Eads in the middle.
Yeah, Grant, this is that high 1-2-2 press defense that Lions were in when they played Belhaven the other day. And Belhaven was really struggling to get out of it, so at least break the press. So Piedmont's in it again, and we're going to see how it forms today.
Yeah, definitely. This group is very vocal. They have great connections as there's now 6 on the shot clock. Lions again suffocating defense as this one's going to be pulled from mid-range and off both sides of the rim. Buzzer sounds, no shot clock violation. And Kelsey Banks is going to look to make something happen for the Lions. She'll go to Eads at the top of the key. Eads, like we said, great vocal new piece, as she wasn't too involved last year, but more this year as Scott, who's always involved, is going to feed to Willis on the inside. Willis drives right. It's good. Nice turnaround by Alex Willis to go through the contact to bring the Lions up 3. Lions sticking that press. Benson suffocated, tipped up by Willis, but they'll stay with it. And that's going to be a 10-second call. Lions stay stout on defense, and they'll get yet another stop early.
Yeah, Covenant wants to win this game. They're definitely going to have to figure out how to break this 1-2-2 press that the Piedmont Lions are putting on them.
Yeah, that's not going to work if you're going to keep getting trapped like that. Also for the Scots, a sub has came in as Willis is going to go again.
Alex
Easy bucket.
Willis, go to work.
Yeah, that's bound to happen with the way that she plays. Really physical in the interior. By the way, that sub is Care Kennedy in for Hannah Edson as Kennedy's going to drive inside. It'll go off the backboard, off the tip, and she'll get a run rebound. And it'll stay out. This is going to be Witt. Top of the key goes over to Benson. And Benson finds the cutting Savage. Savage layup off the rim and over to Kennedy Henson. And Henson got to look for Savage. Almost got the Jose Alvarado type steal.
Good one, Grant.
And back again to Willis in the post, getting that work in. And she stopped up, almost fell down, goes back to Henson. And good feed inside to Banks. Banks one dribble, goes to the left, off the rim and out. And rebounded by Covenant. Lions up 4-0, 6:40 left in this first quarter. Been a fairly slow start. Lions not accustomed to being a very fast-paced team, as we see more with the men's squad.
Yeah, Grant, Covenant's hopefully looking to bounce back here after losing to Belhaven a couple days ago, 65-57.
A good bucket by Brooklyn Conrad. Easy right-hand turnaround. Even had Hannah Edson there as Nene Eads with a spin move on the inside. Looks out to Banks. Banks fires from the wing. Got it. Three-pointer by Kelsey Banks.
Grant, this is what this Piedmont team is really good at doing. Even if you got guards like Nene Eads penetrating, you got shooters outside like Kelsey Banks and Kennedy Henson, and even Brooklyn Bagley, who had 14 points last game, out there to shoot the ball and be able to connect from 3.
And yet again, this press by the Lions, forcing Breezy Savage to have to get it in the corner. She missed the pass, and Covenant's going to have to take a timeout. Man, this has been a heck of a start for these Lions. That defense is looking amazing, Damian.
Yeah, man, I mean, like I said, it's that press that starts it, and then as, you know, the team finally gets maybe the ball just across half court, that's when the defense starts marinating and they start compacting the paint, and this really gives opponents really a hard time to struggle.
Yeah, the entire point of a press like that is to force them into the corners or to force them at half court. That's the idea. You want to bait them into getting into the spots where you can immediately trap and then force a errant or a slow pass. So Lions doing a perfect job as Purdy coaching her girls through. Looks like Ava Hunter's sitting there on the bench, so she'll probably check in 4 minutes in, so it makes sense, and that'll be a little bit of interior help for the Lions.
Well, everybody, that is, well, we are 6 minutes and 4 seconds left in this first quarter. We'll take a short break as you're watching Piedmont women's basketball on Piedmont Athletics on YouTube. Welcome back to Piedmont women's basketball on Piedmont Athletics on YouTube, where the game is now 7-2 as the Lions now get another steal.
This one's going to go to Scott, top of the key, and over to Banks in the corner. Jab step floater, no good. And Ava Hunter tried to get the rebound, but it'll go over to Henson in the corner. Scott will call up Hunter. Hunter, wing, pump fake, one drive, off again. And this one rebounded by Covenant. Covenant in transition, something we haven't seen too much. Lions have been doing a good job of putting that press in. They've implemented it very well today. And walking over is Haley Barino to check in. She'll get in a little bit. Nice feed and a missed layup there. Very surprising, as Covenant will get it back and another missed layup. And there's a lid on the rim as Eads and that Covenant Scott got tied up. But Scott with numbers, it's a 4-on-4. Scott will feed inside to Hunter. Henson will slow it down. Eads going to drive left. She'll go inside, and it's going to be off the rim. Rebounded by Ava Hunter, and there's going to be a tie-up here. First jump ball of the game. It'll stay with Piedmont.
Man, Ava Hunter, man, already having a big impact on the boards. Already 2 rebounds in this early action for her.
And wave sub for Covenant. Hannah Edson, Faith Wasden, and I think Amanda Neff checked in. Maybe Abby Slayton.
Riley Bryan also checking in for the Lady Lions.
Yes, indeed. Top of the key for the Lions. Henson, top of the key again, is going to go over to Hunter. Hunter with 5 on the clock has to drive inside. She's going to go right up over the defender. Rebounded again by Covenant. This Lions offense is coming out of the timeout pretty cold. Covenant moving it around. Hunter defending. And again, that Lions defense staying stagnant. Henson tips it out. It'll stay with Covenant with 12 on the shot clock.
Yeah, man, Covenant needs to find out what they have to do to at least score, because right now they're really struggling to score with only 2 points left, with 4 minutes left in this first quarter.
Yeah, 5 minutes, almost 6 minutes. Not exactly what you want to see out of an offensive performance. This one's going to go up for 3. Air ball into the hands of Henson, and she's going to have numbers. She's going to look for Scott, and it'll be a bounce pass to slow it down. If she would have hit her a split second earlier, that probably would have been an easy layup, but Lions elect to slow it down. 4:15 on the clock. Hunter might have gotten fouled, but no call. And Covenant in transition now. And Hunter, good tip out to slow it down. And it was going to hit Covenant. So Ava Hunter with a savvy defensive play, and the Lions will have possession.
Coach Tanya McAtoff is also coaching this game today for the Covenant Scots, who is also in her first season.
Yeah, some new life for Covenant. Normally they're about middle of the pack in most CCS competitions, I'd say. And we mentioned their conference record 3-2. So definitely not, the best of the pack, obviously. That's the Lady Lions at 6-0, looking to go to 7-0. But Barino doing it all herself, drives inside. Rebounded by Abby Slayton. Tough layup by Barino. And that press again almost forces a steal, as Savage going to pull up from mid-range off the rim again. And rebounded by guess who? Breezy Savage. And Abby Slayton is going to figure it out with 15 on the shot clock. Slayton slow drive to her right. And foul called on the floor. That's going to be on Haley Barino, and Abby Witt drew it.
Checking in for your Piedmont Lions is Brooklyn Begley and Alexandra Willis. Now, Grant, I don't know if you know, but Brooklyn Begley against NC Wesleyan had 14 points, which is her career high and game high of the game.
Yeah, pretty big game for her. She's a good piece off the bench, underrated scorer. Like you said, 14 points. Doesn't get those type of minutes often as Willis tips it, but doesn't get those type of minutes as often as we'd imagine. I mean, she's a very, very good scorer, like I mentioned. So good piece. Maybe that'll be a little bit of a breakout game for her going into these final conference minutes. As Lions going to go 5 away from the ball as no one's on Savage, and that one's going to be fed up to Faith Watson. And Savage is going to be held it, and she'll go right hand right on Barrino, and a block called on Haley Barrino. Sat in the paint for a little bit too long, and Savage will draw the foul.
Yeah, Savage averaging 14 points this season. Hasn't really been off to much of a hot start today, but hopefully she can get these free throws in and give her a little bit of confidence going in this game.
Yeah, Covenant coming out slow anyway, not even just Savage. 2 points, make that 3 with a chance to make it 4 in 7 minutes. Lions, I mean, really not doing too much better. 7 points is not exactly the pace you'd expect. I think they average probably around 70 points a game. The exact number for them is somewhere around 65, I think.
The Lions average 70 points and Covenant's average 65.
Yeah. The numbers definitely in the Lions' favor in that aspect. Opponent points per game is almost the exact same. These teams basically let their opponents score about 65 a game. 3-point percentages both around the same, so pretty even matchup on paper besides the records. As 20 on the clock now, going to go to Eads at the top of the key. Begley, nice spin move, going to go with the floater off the backboard, no good. Rebounded by Covenant, and they're going to go in transition. Slayton go over to Edson. Edson top of the key. Begley on her. Good defense by the Lions. This one's going to go inside over to the corner. Benson 3, no good, rebounded by Begley. She'll elect to go to Eads, and Eads is going to try to break the transition. She'll go inside to Willis. Willis, nice turnaround, good for 2.
Yeah. And in order for Piedmont to win, Alexandra Willis is going to have a big game with the addition of Adeline Hill not being able to play today.
And she has had that good game. She's been that dominant force in the interior. Covenant's going to put up a long 2, and that one's going to go in. Hannah Edson trying to get some sort of points up for the Scots, and that one's up and good.
Hannah Edson with a long 2-pointer.
And that one's going to go into the hands off the missed layup to Breezy Savage. Scott's in transition yet again, maybe looking to tie here, but instead, errant pass is going to go into the hands of Ashley Scott. And she'll slow it down. These last 2 minutes are going to be an important part for the Lions trying to get some momentum going into the second. And Eads calling the play out. Got Willis up the middle, double screen set for Scott. 3-pointer is not there. That was definitely the play design. 10 on the clock. Top of the key for the Lions again. We'll go into Willis. Willis with 5 on the clock. Needs to turn around. Knocked it over. Begley. 3-pointer from the corner. No good. Effort rebound by Begley. Clock reset. Begley, little floater. Also no good. Man, lit on the rim today for both teams.
Yeah.
Breezy Savage. She'll go right. Off the screen. Pump fake. Nothing there. Good defense by Scott. This one's going to go down the middle. Eads defending, can't get past, and that'll be an easy 2 for Abby Slayton. As Eads under a minute now, under 60 seconds here in the cave. Lions up 9-8. It's been a fairly low scoring first quarter. As now Riley Bryan's going to drive inside right, looking for Eads. Eads will go to Begley. Begley, another 3 opportunity off the rim and out. Team rebound is going to go to Covenant.
Yeah, Covenant started the game out just a little bit slow, but now they're kind of getting a little bit of momentum, only down 1 so far in this late first quarter.
And I wouldn't even say that it's good defense by either side. It's just sloppy offense, and that comes with this being a first quarter. They're going to have to adjust to the pace of this game. This is a pretty physical Covenant team, very one-dimensional. As Willis with a nice steal, going to pass inside, but she stepped out of bounds. So good opportunity for Willis. Obvious frustration. But the ball is going to stay with Covenant.
This is also like Piedmont's maybe 6th game in the last 11 days. So I know it's a lot of load on their legs right now. So they also might just be a little bit tired, which could also lead to this sluggish start they have.
And thankfully it's been a homestand, as that one's going to be a foul on Henson. But long homestand for these Lions. It's a good stretch. They've obviously won out in all of those games. They're undefeated in conference. 20 seconds left, and I believe Slayton's going to have these 2 free throws here. But just a great stretch overall for the Lions. Maybe the Adeline Hill effect is coming in. I can't really tell. It's her role in offense hasn't really dictated the way that this game would have gone. It just looks like a lot of missed shots so far. We saw that a lot with the men's team and against Bellhaven. They started out really slow. We're able to start to get some buckets in, but Covenant has a shot to take the lead here. And it's going to go rattle around. And it's good. So Covenant takes a 1-point lead. Lions going to look to take that lead right back as Savage defends Eads here. Under 15 now. Eads goes right after the pick for Willis. Eads with 10. Nice jab step inside. Going to kick over to Banks. Banks, corner 3, air balls, and it will be in the hands of Vernon. Excuse me, not Vernon. And she'll put it up, and another air ball. And that is the end of the first quarter. Covenant Scots up 10-9. Lions, a little bit of sloppy play. Same thing with these Scots. We're going to see how this is going to go in the second quarter.
Well, everyone, that is the end of the first quarter. Your Piedmont Lions are down 10-9 to the Covenant Scots. We will take a short break. We will be back very soon. And you're watching Piedmont Women's Basketball on Piedmont Athletics on YouTube. Welcome back to Piedmont Women's Basketball and Piedmont Athletics. Your Lions are down 1 point as we start the second quarter.
And a lot of what we saw in that first quarter was a lot of tough missed shots, a lot of missed layups. Fairly even contest all around, but obviously Covenant on top as Henson looks for the steal, and it'll stay Covenant possession. But just lid on the rim, like I mentioned, this has been a really, really tough shooting performance from each side. Not, too much else to look for otherwise, but Lions going to look to reverse that fortune, as this will go to Savage in the corner. And Savage looking for the 3. Pump fake, drives on Eads. Good steal. Eads and Henson team up for the steal as Henson in transition. Nice bounce pass to Banks. It's going to go through her legs, falls on the ball, and that's going to be a turnover for Kelsey Banks, and Covenant's going to have possession.
Yeah, Grant, speaking of bad shooting, both teams are shooting 23% from the field. Piedmont shooting 3 for 30. Oh, no. Covenant, my bad, shooting 3 for 13, and Piedmont shooting 4 for 17. So hopefully, Piedmont can be able to change the outcome of that in this second quarter.
And thankfully for the Lions, they've had a lot of good steals, great defense, but so as Covenant, as Scott's going to go inside, that one tipped up and a foul called. Looked like Lucy Benson hit the arm of Ashley Scott there.
Yeah, Scott, had 13 points in her last outing against Westland as well. She's been on a very hot streak lately, She had player of the game a couple games ago, and then she had 13 points against Wesleyan. She's looking to hopefully have another good game as she can hopefully knock down some free throws to, get her going.
The first one's good. I mentioned it during pregame. Scott, not the greatest start to the year. She's shooting 34% from the field, 28% from 3, but free throw line's been good, 88%. Just had some unforgiving games. She's had a couple games where she hasn't made one. She's missed a bunch, but the numbers are skewed, you could say. She's been very consistent in her entire career here at Piedmont as Henson, good tip out, and that press defense stays strong.
Scott now gives the Lions a 1-point lead in this early second quarter.
And checking in is Care Kennedy for Breezy Savage. So leading scorer for Covenant out, maybe a good time for the Lions to take over. Benson's going to inbound this one to Edson. Scott defending. Edson beats her over, looks for the corner for Kennedy. Kennedy drives inside on Willis, blocked over by Willis, and it'll stay with Covenant.
Great help defense by Alex Willis, man. She's been very impactful in this game so far.
Yeah, and using her size, she's over 6 foot. That's a great piece to have in the middle. And just like you said, clinical help defense. As soon as one man gets beat, you got to be able to step up and do it. And that's exactly what happened, as Kennedy is already going to be subbed out, and Abby Slayton will be put in her place. Once again, 11-10, your Lions lead. Slayton's in the corner, going to pull it for 3 off the front rim. Tough bounce. It'll go off Willis's hands and stay with Covenant. Man, those front rim rebound bounces are always so frustrating if you're down in the middle because you have no reaction time to try to even get a good grasp on the ball as this one's going to be inbounded to Neff. Scott defending, tipped away, and it's going to be a pile up in the middle around the Lions logo. And possession arrow points for the Lions. Great play defensively yet again as Ashley Scott keeps playing a great game.
One thing about the Lady Lions, they block shots and they have very, very active hands on defense.
Yeah, Coach Purdy does a great job of teaching these Lady Lions how to play just clinical defense. That one looked like it tipped off the hands of Abby Witt, and it will. Ref points towards Piedmont side. Piedmont obviously going to the right. And Eads will inbound it right on the tee of Piedmont going over to Henson. Henson maybe looking for Willis in the post. She got her beat. Willis, great post offense. Easy two. That press beat up yet again from these Lions. It's Eads defending, Willis right behind her. Trap coming, Banks is going to look to get it. And Covenant breaks the press, but off the foot of Slayton, and Scott's going to pick it right back up.
Yeah.
Scott going to look to Eads. Eads has a wide open lane. She'll take it right. Got fouled. Almost an N1.
Yeah, without Breezy Savage, you know, their starting guard, best player you could say, averaging 14 points a game. This Covenant offense, man, they're really struggling to get this ball across the court.
And you can tell without her in the lineup, she obviously plays the most minutes of any Scott in this lineup, but you can tell the defensive communication is a little bit different as Brooklyn Conrad will look to add a little bit of communication in the middle, but that was just a wide open lane in transition. That's the type of drills you take in practice, is those transition drills, trying to figure out who you're going to guard, because transition it's where most points can happen. It's where they can easily happen, as Eads will knock down both. Lions up 5 now, so a big setup there, and look who's coming in now. We got Breezy Savage is going to check in for Slayton.
This Covenant looks like they're in their own little press break.
Yeah, they figured it out now, but oh my goodness, Ashley Scott, perfect takeaway. Great reaction time as Savage telegraphed the pass, and Eads will be on the wing looking to take advantage. Henson, top of the key, passes up the 3, goes to Willis. Willis by the charity stripe. Looking over to Eads, shot clock halfway down. Eads defended by Benson. Eads spins around, goes down the middle, and it's blocked, but a foul called. So once again, the Lions are going to have 2 free throws.
One thing about Nene Eads, when she drives hard. She's very aggressive when she drives to the rim, and 9 times out of 10, she either going to score the bucket or get fouled.
Yeah, and she's not afraid of contact. A lot of people are really afraid to go inside, but even for a guard, Eads is just really physical, something you love to see, especially in a close game like this. Free throws are so important. And she'll go hit another one. My goodness, Nene Eads, a good free throw shooter on the year.
She's 3 for 3 today, about maybe 4 for 4, and she's 4 for 4
got
today.
100%, Damien. Great job.
Piedmont now up 7, 17-10 on the Covenant Scots.
Big run by the Lions, 8-0. That press is being lethal to these Scots as Eads defending. Lions bench getting fired up as Willis will defend on the interior. Spin move, got the hand down, missed the shot there, and Eads, easy rebound. Looking for some help. That was a risky pass. Thankfully, Witt didn't see it as Henson will go downside to her left. She's going to go with the left hand. No foul called. Conrad with the rebound. Scott's in transition yet again. This is Witt, the playmaker, leader in assists. Got Banks on her. Go inside to Conrad. Conrad, free throw line jumper off the front of the rim and rebounded by Willis. Eads yet again directing in transition. This one's going to go to Banks. Banks has a lane, pulls it back out. Skip pass over to Scott. Scott's going to drive inside. Ashley Scott kicks to Henson in the corner. Good screen by Scott, but nothing doing. 13 on the clock. Banks almost came out of bounds. Willis posted up against Conrad. Willis, bully ball. Yet another foul called on these Scots. It's their 4th of the quarter.
Yeah, we're not even halfway through the second quarter, and Covenant already has 4 team fouls. One more foul, and Piedmont will be in the bonus.
And an important thing to look for is the loss of taller players, those interior defenders. Lions could be able to capitalize as Riley Bryant's going to check in for Banks, but those are some important players that might be getting in foul trouble for the Scots.
Alex Willis now at the line for 2 as she hits her first free throw to give Piedmont an 8-point lead. Hopefully 9 points if she hits his second.
Exactly right. Could you predict it again, Damien? Let's see. She's 2 for 2, baby. Willis is 2 for 2, and so is Damien, people.
Ava Hunter now checking in the game for Alex Willis.
On a Tuesday night. Predictor of the century, Damian Traylor, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
We'll go over to Benson. Savage going to look to make something happen, defended by Hunter. She beat Hunter, looking to the corner to Witt. Witt pulls for three in the corner, no good. Offensive rebound, Henson couldn't get the positioning. And errant pass going to go over the head of Savage. And another turnover for these Covenant Scots. We mentioned 25 a game for these Scots.
This Covenant has not scored not a single point yet in the second quarter, and we're almost halfway through. They have more team fouls than points, which is kind of ironic to say.
Yeah, 4 more team fouls than points. That doesn't seem right. This Piedmont defense has just been stellar. There's nothing else you can say about that. Carmine will check out. Kennedy coming in. Easy inbound. Henson almost had some trouble happen as Eads defended by Savage. Good pick by Hunter. Eads will go inside. Didn't hit the roll, but it'll put it up. It's just off. But again, another interior foul, and these Lions are working the free throw line.
Eats with a classic basketball move with a Euro step, just not be able to get the ball in the hoop. But once again, she will go to the line for 2.
And she had the pick and roll. Hunter was rolling, but obviously Covenant blanketed her on that play, and a timeout will be called by Covenant. But yeah, like you said, good Euro step using that interior and forcing the contact.
Yeah, Grant, I mean, Covenant, what do you think they could use to at least be able to get some points on the board in the second quarter? Because right now they have not made a single point, but they have 5 team fouls.
I think you got to be able to pass the ball more on the press. That was always, coaches always, especially when I played, they preached that the ball moves faster through the air than on the ground through the dribble. The one thing you can't do is telegraph passes, which they have been doing a lot. There's been a lot of missed passes. Maybe it's some early game jitters. Maybe it's playing in an away arena, but it's been a really tough game for them. Like you said, no points in this second quarter. Just 10 overall in 14 minutes of play. So obviously not very efficient numbers. Lions up 10. They've had a very, very good run, 11-0. But yeah, if you're Covenant, you got to be able to find a way to break this press. This timeout's a good way to do it.
Yeah, so far, I mean, we thought Adeline Hill was going to be a very big loss for Piedmont so far, but I mean, maybe they were just a little bit tired from when they played Westland on Sunday, less than 48 hours ago. So I mean, they look pretty good without Hill, but we all know if Hill was in this game for sure, that'd be very, very amazing for the Piedmont Lady Lions.
Yeah, thankfully on the interior, it hasn't been too much of a struggle for them. Hill has been replaced very well by Alex Willis. Ava Hunter has yet to get going. But looking at some of the stats here, yeah, Covenant shooting 3 for 17, and they already have 12 turnovers. So they almost have 1 turnover every minute. So not very efficient numbers. They are 4 for 4 from the line. Lions are 9 for 10 from the free throw line, so pretty efficient numbers there. But Covenant, man, it's been a struggle.
Yeah, Covenant definitely has to limit the turnovers. Piedmont has 11 points off of Covenant's turnovers, so if they want to win this game or get back into this game, they definitely have to limit those turnovers for sure.
Yeah, the turnover difference is 8. Lions with 4. So they've limited theirs, but Covenant still with 12. Could be a possible 30 turnover game if they're not careful. Eads will get the second. Lions are now up 11. And they'll stick in that press, stay with the 1-2-2. Scott on Kennedy almost missed the pass as Savage will get it to the top of the key. Drive inside by Witt. Easy baseline jumper also off for the to Scots as Eads rebound it for the Lions. Henson will go to Brian. Transition. Henson's going to feed Ava Hunter. Here we go. Ava Hunter on the interior. Kicks to Scott. Corner 3 for Ashley Scott. No good. Good rebound by Eads as Witt with the butterfingers went right to her. Eads, that's typical spin move. It's a good steal by Breezy Savage. Got in the lane there as Savage is going to direct traffic on the 3-on-2. She'll pass over to Witt. Good defense by Kennedy Henson and a missed opportunity by Savage as she had Lucy Benson wide open in the corner. And Benson will go to Witt. Wasden haven't said her name in a minute. Go over to Savage. Savage top of the key, defended by Eads. Kennedy jab steps right. Baseline jumper, she was fouled. So Covenant will finally get a chance to get on the board in the second quarter.
Foul on Brian, her first foul of the game.
Brian definitely not the best player on the squad, definitely a role player, but she does a great job at that 2 or 3 position. Very important piece defensively, especially in the middle on that, maybe on that press for the Lions too.
For sure. I mean, not even just her, man. All of the Lions, they are very scrappy on defense. It seems like they turn their defense into offense, you know, because like you said, they have 11 points off of Covenant's turnovers. Covenant only has 11 points right now. So, for sure, as Kennedy misses the first free throw. And
man, tough break. Riley Bryan off of the hands of Eads, and Covenant's going to get it right back. So missed free throw kind of worked out from a certain point of view. Savage will inbound it. Kennedy off the double screen, but it'll go into Conrad. Conrad, good cut by Savage. She'll go inside with the right hand, and that one's going to be the first field goal as we're about halfway into the second quarter. Eads going to look to answer. Eads with Savage defending on the right wing. She's going to call up Henson. No screen coming. Eads with Bryan now. Bryan calls Hunter. Hunter, top of the key, drives left. Hunter's layup is no good, but again, she was fouled. That is 16 fouls for Covenant.
Hunter, very quiet in this game so far, but once she gets going, it's very hard to stop the two-man, two-headed, three-headed monster of the bigs of Piedmont.
Yeah, speaking of two-headed monster, Alex Willis is now checked in, so you're going to have two interior defenders and interior post players, and Hunter and Willis may be looking for a free throw line block, in and out type of look. That was always a very, very smart play if you're a coach, is to give those free throw line players a look at going down low. As Willis will get the offensive board, she'll go right back up in an easy two, so immediately Alex Willis making an impact.
This is one of Coach Purdy's dangerous lineups right here. You have 3 shooters and 2 bigs.
Yeah, Scott and Banks are the shooters. That one's an errant pass stolen away by Bryan. Bryan's going to have a transition look. Looking to go in, and it'll be blocked away by Kennedy from behind, so a good defensive play by Kennedy to stop that break as Brooklyn Begley will come in, and she's going to come in for Bryan. Also in for Covenant, Emma K. Fuller. Her first minutes of the game, she'll come in for Conrad. So now Piedmont with a taller lineup, Covenant going a little bit smaller. And she'll look to go into Begley. Scrap up, Kennedy falls on a chair. Hope she's okay. Good effort there, though.
Great effort by Kennedy, but hopefully she's good. She's looking a little wobbly there, holding her back a little bit.
Obviously shaken up a little bit. That definitely didn't feel good, but
yeah,
doing whatever she can. You're down 11. That's the only thing you can do. Those are the type of plays. And my coach used to say you can't teach effort. You know, you can teach shooting the ball, you can teach passing the ball, but you can't teach those type of plays. So that's the one way they're going to try to crawl back, is she'll be defending Begley again. Blanket defense. Be forced to pass it to Scott with 10 on the clock. Scott with 7. Drives in, looks to Begley. Begley, deep 3, front rim and out. And rebounded by Emma K. Fuller in transition, and that's going to be an easy foul on Begley. Begley reached away too early.
That is Begley's first foul.
Thankfully, on the other side, we talked about Covenant's foul trouble, but foul trouble for the Lions isn't too difficult right now. Drive inside by Covenant, kicks to Kennedy. Corner 3, that one looked dead from the start. Air ball into the hands of Brooklyn Begley. 4:11 on the clock. Time ticking down, Lions up 24-13, have an 11-point lead. Remember, they were down 10-9, so they've got a really good run this second quarter. Hunter in the post, looked to kick out, and a travel called. She had to pump fake the pass to Willis, and that'll result in a turnover.
Coach Purdy down there doesn't believe that it was a travel call. I don't really think it was. I didn't really see much, honestly.
I think, if anything, that's an up and down violation. I didn't really see the feet move up, but it was a tough vantage point. The ref calls what the ref will call, so can't argue too much. Banks is going to defend Savage here, top of the right wing. 3:50 taken down.
And then they each checks in for Ashley Scott, by the way.
Yeah, big sub in, as now the Lions will be down a shooter. Eads mostly an interior scorer. Speaking of interior scorer, Breezy Savage is going to kick out to the baseline. That shot's also off. Hunter's going to snag the rebound. And Eads is going to look to run in transition, maybe to put the Lions up 13. Willis, good turnaround. Begley pulls again from 3. This one also short. Everything falling up short for both squads, as looks like Witt got popped in the nose or the mouth on that one.
Yeah, after Begley's hot start to her game, the game against Wesleyan, she's been very, very, very cold today. I mean, I don't think she's hit a shot so far, and I think she's maybe shot like 5, maybe 6 attempts.
Yeah, it's been a cold start. It might be time to put the mulligan on those threes for Coach Purdy. Good steal by Nene Eads, my goodness. Begley, a missed layup, and her cold night continues, and another foul is called. That's an opportunity you gotta have if you're the Lions.
Yeah, I mean, we're up 11 still, but I mean, you also want to be able to keep on stacking on that lead. You have to be able to capitalize off opportunities like that. As Ashley Scott will now check in for Brooklyn Begley.
Yeah, that definitely warrants a sub out. Tough stretch for Begley. Doesn't distract from her good game she's had so far, but today maybe not so much. Just starting out cold can always be changed. Fuller's going to drive on Banks, spins right, and a foul. A travel is going to be called. Looked like it might have been a foul on Hunter, but great defense by Kelsey Banks to force the travel.
These Piedmont bigs, man, they're all about helping their guards, especially when somebody's driving on them, as we're having a little bit of clock difficulty.
Yeah, it looks like that sub buzzer happened right when the ball got inbounded, so just unlucky timing, and that's going to be Abby Slayton is going to check in for Lucy Benson as Eads, with under 3 left in this first half, in this second quarter. Lions outscoring the Scots by a lot in the second quarter. Good feed into Banks, but it was tipped away by Savage, and football move. Kelsey Banks hit stick to Breezy Savage there.
Yeah, Savage read that like a cornerback, you could say.
Maybe put her in concussion protocol. Goodness. That was a bit of a tough foul, but just an unfortunate collision by Banks as she'll try to do a little bit more clean defending here on Hannah Edson. Good defense on the interior. Eads stays in bounds. Banks on the ground, tips it, goes past to Henson. Great play by Kelsey Banks as she's still down, as is Hannah Edson. Eads drives inside.
Piedmont has numbers.
Exactly, you got to move in that transition. Hunter traveled again.
Another travel on Ava Hunter.
Yeah, brutal turnovers for Ava Hunter. She's had her good chances, but it is tough when you're trying to make those turnarounds in the post. You work on footwork as much as you can, but your body's reflexes always come through. A little 2-on-2 action. Hannah Edson, number 2 on Nene Eads, number 2, as we're down almost with 2 minutes left. And Eads yelling at the ref. She didn't think she tipped it. Edson will definitely take it. 12 on the clock for the Scots. Slayton drives in, looks to Fuller. Fuller mid-range jumper off the backboard, no good. And rebounded and up and in by the Scots. Tough box out job by the Lions, unable to get the offensive rebound. We're down under 2 minutes.
The ball was pinballing around there for a minute. Led to a Covenant score.
Yeah, a little bit of chaos. Offensive rebounders thrive in that sort of chaos. 20 on the clock for the Lions, taking their time. Scott pulls for 3 off the back of the rim and no good. Fuller with the rebound in transition are the Scots. Slayton drives inside, layup is good. The lead is now down to 7. Eads trying to get the Lions in some sort of scoring column here. She'll drive in, and that's going to be a blocking foul. Lucky it wasn't a charge. Foul is going to be on Savage.
Yeah. Covenant so far on a 3-0 run in like the maybe past minute and a half. Piedmont hasn't really scored in maybe 3 minutes.
I want to say about 3 or 4 minutes. It's been a very, very tough run.
It's been a little bit of a drought. Riley Bryan is checking in for Kelsey Banks. And then Eads at the line for 2 now. This is her 4th attempt at the free throw line so far in this first half.
Yeah, she's done a great job of getting that contact, getting those easy points. I mean, there's no contest to a free throw, so it's the easy shot you can take. They don't call it free for nothing. So she'll knock down the first. She stays hot, 5 for 5. Again. And little wave sub coming in. Willis will come in for Hunter. And it looks like we're going to have Benson check in as well.
Piedmont up 9 points now with 1:26 left in this first half. As Covenant is now in their press break to hopefully break this 1-2-2 defense of Piedmont's.
Yeah, that press break, I mean, the press hasn't been as prevalent for the Lions. They haven't put as many through the hoop, so it's been tough for them to get in that press. This press is wide open, but a great job by Kennedy Henson. Get in the rain room, Slayton. My goodness. Henson dribbling around, Savage on her. Getting close to a 5-second call, kick it out to Bryan, and she's fouled.
Slayton there with the foul.
My goodness, Kennedy Henson ripped that ball away. Wow.
Yeah, just ripped it out of her hands.
Physical play, and that play could have been extremely bad because the Scots had 3. You had 2 in the corner and 1 in the paint, but Henson was still able to rip it out, get her hand on the ball. Great job.
As Kennedy now checks in for
I think that was
Abby
Slayton.
Slayton.
Yeah, Slayton that came out. And a little rim out. No good by Bryan. This attempt will try to put the Lions up 10. Bryan's free throw, front rim and out. So the lead will stay at 9. Almost stole away by Bryan, so she would have redeemed her missed free throws, but not to be. Benson will inbound it again. 1:02 left. Savage, Covenant's leading scorer. Savage from Greenville, Tennessee. Again, hot defense, stolen away by Eads. Eads has the layup. It'll go in, and it's up and good. The Lions finally back with an easy field goal.
Nene Eads, I want to say in double figures now in this first half.
Carrying this squad, Brian, another steal. 40 on the clock. Brian's going to drive it down in transition. Looks for Henson. Corner three, Kennedy. Henson, good. How about that? We got another one on the board for the Lions. They're up 14. What a huge swing for these Lions. Quick 5-0 run. Looking to end this half hot as they are doing it. Inside Fuller. And almost stolen away by Eads. She had the shot to. Kicks to Savage. She'll pull for three. No good off the back rim. Rebounded. Shot clock is off. Fuller. Corner. Witt. Three. No good. Rebounded Fuller. Fuller off the front of the rim. Rebounded again by Breezy Savage. Foul called. That one should go on Nene Eads. We got 6 seconds left. Man, I can breathe.
Yeah, Graham. I mean, Piedmont really upped the score very quickly. I mean, it was just a 9-point lead. Now it's up to 10 plus. So Breezy at the line now for 2. But I mean, going into this half, Coach McIntosh is definitely going to have to think of some things that can maybe get this Covenant offense some easier looks.
Yeah, it's definitely not been the defense's problem. It's been the turnovers. You can't do much if you're turning the ball over and the Lions are moving in transition. That's not really up to your defense to figure out. That's up to your offense to not force those turnovers. Got to have quality possessions as Savage's second free throw is good. Lions with 6. Eads, 6. Ticking down. Henson wide open. Layup is no good. Lions had a shot, an easy wide open layup. Maybe you got to work on those left-hand layups a little bit more. You always need to do them in drills in the lines, and Henson will smoke the layup, but the Lions still up 12. Good half, Damian, I'd say.
Very great half. I mean, like you said, the Lions are up 12, 31-19, entering the second half, but Covenant got to figure something out.
Yeah,
the Lions defense is suffocating them.
Yeah, it's been nothing short of an ugly half for these Scots. 19 points, that's on pace for 38. Not exactly something you want to see, but we'll take it into halftime. Lions leading 31-19.
And you are watching Piedmont Women's Basketball on Piedmont Athletics on YouTube. ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Piedmont Women's Basketball on Piedmont Athletics on YouTube. It's your guy, Damian Traylor, here with his partner, Grant Prather. And we're here at the women's Lions game. It's 31-19 right now. Piedmont up on Covenant, and the second half is about to resume.
Yeah, Lions just played a great half defensively. Get this, 19 turnovers for Covenant. And also get this, 19 points for Covenant. They scored the same amount of points as they did turnovers. So not a very efficient half for Covenant, but the Lions, I wonder what the program steal record is, because they might be able to set it. They have 14 steals today.
Yeah, that's a lot. And, you know, we don't have Annalyn Hill tonight, so we've been doing pretty good without her. I mean, Alexandra Willis has 12 points and, 4 rebounds?
Yeah, so she's 5 for 5 from the field, 2 for 3 from the line, and 4 rebounds. Yeah, so 12 and 4, not double-double pace, but I mean a pretty efficient game. Just done a great job locking down the middle against Abby Witt for the Covenant, who's played all 20 minutes of that first half.
Yeah, Willis has definitely been a major addition, step up, you could say, with Hill not playing tonight. Here now is Breezy to 22. Witt. Here goes Covenant driving, shoots, just misses, rebounded by Piedmont Henson. Here goes Ashley Scott now, driving the ball to the middle of the court, to Henson at the top of the key. Henson now drops to her left, looking to give Alex Willis the ball. Back to Nene. Nene drops it off to Willis now at the free throw line. Willis drops to her left, just misses, rebounded by Covenant, and it's stolen as Kelsey Banks has been hit in the face. Willis recovers and makes the 2-ball.
Man, good defense again. Willis with his takeaway and an easy 2 again, starting the second half hot.
Banks still shaking up a little bit. But here's Covenant now. Here goes Breezy with the ball. Here goes.
Yeah, I like that. Banks was squinting and she's a little bit red in the face. I think she got knocked in maybe the top of the nose. That messes with your vision a little bit.
Yeah, she getting checked out now, but here goes Savage now, inbounding the ball, gets the ball back. Benson on the right side, pump fakes, drives to her right, shoots over Willis, just misses. Or left, my mistake. Benson missed, driving to her left. Goes Brian now for the Lions, about to inbound the ball to Eads. Nene starting to set the offense for the Lions. Here goes Eads, looking to run some offense now, looking to get the ball to Willis. Eads crosses over to her left. Eads drives. Eads passes out to Scott. Scott to Henson. Henson shoots a 3. And Henson hits the 3. Her second 3 of the game. As Piedmont is now in that high press once again. Covenant looking to pass, get out of it. There's Benson now struggling to pass to somebody. Eads almost fouled. Here goes Savage. Savage shoots a 3. Savage just misses, rebounded by Ashley Scott. Scott to Willis. Willis catches. Willis drops to her right. Willis shoots. Willis just misses. Willis takes a little tumble. Here goes Savage now, driving on the right, guarded by Nene Eads. Savage passes to Neff. Drive. Covenant misses. Ashley Scott now driving on a fast break. Passing to Riley Bryan. Riley Bryan backs the ball out just a little bit. Here's to Henson, who just hit the 3 not too long ago. Dumps it off to Willis. Willis, heavy in-game presence. Alexandra Willis with 16 points now.
Love the ball movement from these Lions early on, feeding Willis on the inside, but also going back to that play with Henson. Easy perimeter passes, just really efficient offensively.
It's Benson now to Neff. Neff back to, there's a foul on Henson. As number 22, Witt, was fouled. Abby Witt will now go to the free throw line as Covenant is basically getting a whole new rotation in.
Yeah, wave sub, it's going to be, looks like Edson, Benson, and I forget who the other one, I couldn't see who came out. Looks like maybe Freeman. But the lineup right now is it's Conrad, obviously Witt at the line, Ora Hall. She was one of the people who just subbed in. And then it looks like Emma K. Fuller and then Kennedy, Kara Kennedy. That's the 5 for the Scots right now.
And Kara Kennedy is the one who took that hard tumble by the chairs in the first half. She looks to be good now, though.
And
Wadsden now checks in.
First time that Abby Witt has seen the bench today.
It's Eads now. Running some offense on the left side to Brian. Brian on the right, getting a screen from Hunter. Brian driving to her right, dumps it off to Henson. Henson passes to Hunter on the left. Back to Eads. Eads with the crossover to the left. Drives to the rim. Eads makes the 2. Again, like we said, Grant, Eads is a very aggressive driver.
Making something out of nothing, too. She had about 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Nobody open. Just had to do it herself and got an easy layup. Nice steal, too.
And there is a toss-up between Hall and Eads as it will be Piedmont basketball. Great defense by Nene Eads. As Covenant now looks to be in a little bit of a, not a press per se, but they're definitely guarding full court now, 94 feet, as Eads is breaking that. Pass to Ashley Scott. Ashley Scott hits the 3.
Bombs away to start this second half, and the ball finally seeing the bottom of the net finally in this game.
Yeah, Piedmont's now breaking barriers, as you could say. They're up 22 now. Covenant shoots, and it is a foul on Piedmont. Faith Wasden was the one to shoot, as she will not go to the line. That is now 2 team fouls on Piedmont.
Faith Wasden, tough break. The shot too, it just, I always used to hate when things like that would happen, but part of the game.
My mistake, everybody. Faith Wasden. As she is now shaking her second free throw attempt and connects.
Hey, in your defense, Damien, it's spelled W-A-S-D-E-N, so it's tough.
Yeah, Ashley Scott now shooting a free 2-pointer, you could say. And gives Piedmont a 23-point lead. As Wasden now with the ball. And it is a travel call on number 44, Brooklyn Conrad.
And out of the game now, Nene Eads. Brino's going to step in. Maybe Coach Purdy giving Eads a little bit of rest time. She's had a pretty good game, and Brino, a good change of pace. She's really quick.
Yeah, Brino very quick. She's had a quiet game so far, but it looks like Covenant is about to sub in a whole new starting 5. All on the baseline waiting to check in this game. As here's Ava Hunter now. Backing down, driving to her right, spins, passes to Brian. Brian just misses. Brian goes back up, misses again. And it was Wozen with the rebound. And here goes Kennedy, guarded by Brian. Wozen back, shoots a 3. And Wozen misses, rebounded by Hunter. And goes to Ashley Scott now, bringing the ball up for the Lady Lions. Ashley Scott crossover to her left. Ashley Scott shoots a floater, signature for her. And is missed, rebounded by Kennedy. Kennedy bringing the ball up. Kennedy takes a shot, and looks like Riley Bryan is a little slow to get up.
I like the drive by Kennedy, as that's going to be that new 4 in for Covenant. Let's see if we can get all these right. We got Elsden, Neff, Benson, and Savage have all checked in.
Kennedy will now go to the line for 2 free throws.
Also, Brooklyn Begley has been subbed in along with Alex Willis. So a lot of new groups with about halfway through this third quarter.
Yeah, Graham, I mean, so far in this third quarter, what do you think Piedmont has done to extend this lead?
They've made shots, simple as that. First half was not too helpful. You know, the Lions 8 for 29. That's about, I think, 27% from the field in that first half, and it's definitely changed. They already have 14 points in the first 5 minutes here.
Begley for 3. Begley just misses. Rebounded by Covenant, and it's back to Ashley Scott. Here goes. And there is a foul call on Covenant. That is Breezy Savage. As Hannah Edson will now check in for Kennedy. But there is a little bit of a break right now. So we will be back in a short period of time as you're watching Piedmont Women's Basketball on Piedmont Athletics on YouTube. Welcome back to Lady Lions basketball on Piedmont Athletics on YouTube, as we're now up 23 points. As Kennedy Henson now gets the ball, spin moves to her left, misses, hits the bottom of the rim actually, bottom of the goal. As Covenant now brings the ball up on their right side. Henson guarding number 12, Benson. Benson drops to her right. Goes Covenant. Goes 22, Witt. Witt shoots. Guarded heavily by Willis. Willis, great defensive effort. Now here goes Ashley Scott, rewarding Willis, but is stolen by Breezy Savage. Breezy Savage now on the fast break, and it's missed, but she's fouled by Ashley Scott. So now Savage will now go to the line for 2.
And I like that, not giving her the easy points. Never want to force a layup, let it happen. So we could call it a quote-unquote good foul if maybe she goes 1 for 2 from the line here. By the way, Savage in this game, we said she's Covenant's leading scorer, but right now she's got 7 points after that free throw, shooting 1 for 7 from the field.
Yeah, Grant, I don't even think it's just been Breezy, though. Honestly, their whole team has been very slow from shooting. I mean, they only shot maybe 22% at the end of the first half. So, and Brooklyn Begley now shoots a 3, and she misses again. Rebounded by Henson, though. Henson out the Ashley Scott at the top of the key. Scott now backs the ball up. Scott driving to her right. Scott drives all the way to her right, shoots her signature floater, misses, rebounded by Covenant. And here goes Covenant now on the fast break. Across the court. And Covenant just misses once again. That was number 12, Benson. As Benson now gets the ball back, passes out to Neff.
Shot clock issue, yeah. Ref asking for a reset after that offensive rebound, it looks like. And Nene Eads is going to check in. Begley staying cold. Riley Bryan's also going to come in for Barino.
Yeah, it's been a very cold night for Begley. I mean, she had a career high 14 points in the last outing, but it just seems not to be clicking all there in this game. Here goes Benson now, and she travels, and it will be Piedmont's basketball. That's, man, another turnover for Covenant.
And it's just shown how good this Lions defense has been. If she wouldn't have traveled, she only had a second left in the shot clock, so it would have been a shot clock violation. So again, Lions defense just suffocating today.
Here goes Henson now, receiving a screen from Willis. Willis now gets the ball on the block, left block. Willis spins, Willis shoots, misses, but she will go to the line as she is fouled by number 11, and Amanda Neff.
It's a lot of what we saw in the first half is feeding the post to people like Willis and Hunter and then getting those easy free throws, looking to stretch the lead to, could you believe it, 23?
Yeah, Piedmont came out in the second half and definitely showed what they're made of and why they're the number 1 team in the conference, putting on a impressive shooting outlook, and defensively was just continuing what they did in the first half.
Yeah, I think the defense has really been the story of today. The lead in the second half is mostly due to the offensive shooting, but the way it got up in the first half was really just due to their defense and forcing turnovers. So really good job by Coach Purdy and her girls today.
Here goes Covenant now trying to break the press. Goes Savage now driving on her right. Savage out to Witt. Witt drives, shoots, misses all rim, and it is tipped out by Piedmont and will remain Scott's basketball.
A lot of these Scott shots seem a little bit rushed. They're all in motion. It's tough to shoot those shots when you're moving, and that's why they haven't really seen the bottom of the net or even the rim at all sometimes today.
Here goes Savage now being guarded by Scott. Here goes Benson. Benson kicks out to Edson. Edson shoots 3, misses. Rebounded by Eats. Eats is in a little bit of trouble. Goes out to Henson. Henson kicks it out to Scott. Scott backs the ball back out smartly. Here goes Nene Eats. Nene Eats drops to her right, but is called for a travel. That was a lot.
Yeah, a lot in one play, a lot of ball movement. Love to see that out of the Lions, though. And Eads kind of took it into consideration a little bit too much. It's always tough to not travel to get those first 2 steps up when you're at the top of the key wide open.
Yeah, Scott's ball now. Here goes Neff to, it's a little bit of a spill of ladies on the floor. And it will remain Covenant's ball. Spill was between Edson and Riley Bryan of Piedmont.
And Neff's going to come out. Slayton's going to replace her, as well as Conrad's going to come in for Witt. So Witt getting some more rest time. So basically just switch the interior defenders and scorers there. I like the move.
Goes Benson with the ball now, driving to her left. Eads guarding her. And Willis almost gets a steal. Here goes Savage, recovering, driving to her right, getting guarded by Brian. Brian playing excellent defense. And a little bit of a confusion there. Savage sidesteps, shoots a 3, misses, and it is rebounded by Alexandra Willis for Piedmont. Eads gets the ball, dimes it out to Brian. Brian shoots a mid-range, and Brian hits the mid-range shot. Riley Bryan usually shooting her mid-range, which is her bread and butter, and it is stolen. Speaking of Riley Bryan, shoots a underhand layup and makes it. Quick 4 points for Riley Bryan.
That's a good way to get yourself 4 points. I mean, an easy mid-range. We haven't seen too much of that tonight, and then a steal right into some offense. Just a great stretch for Riley Bryan.
Here goes Savage to Slayton. Slayton shoots her own mid-range, misses, and it is rebounded by Eats, who has been everywhere. Eats throws a football pass to Ashley Scott. Scott brings it back out, dimes it to Eats. Eats gets fouled. Man, what a pass by Ashley Scott, threading the needle to Eats. Eats just misses, but she gets fouled, and she will now go to the line for 2 free throws.
Man, eyes in the back of her head looking like LaMelo Ball. My goodness, that was such a good pass, and that football pass was almost perfect too, but I love the ball movement that these lines have been putting on. Reason why they're up 27, they've already had 20 points this quarter, so nearing their first half total in 1 quarter, and we got a player who doesn't normally get a lot of time. It's Lexi Gerard checking in.
Yeah, Lexi Gerard, man, friend of mine's. Hope she has a good game. And Eats now makes her first free throw.
Games like this are good. Once you get up early, you can get a lot of those players who don't get a lot of reps, like Gerard, maybe Emmeline Ralt, players like that. You get a good lead. You can see what type of young talent you got in the history of this program.
Piedmont, even though they're up a dozen, almost 29 to be specific, they're still in that high press. It's Savage now, looking for somebody to pass to. Back out to Benson. Benson breaks it just. Here goes Slayton. Slayton back to Savage. Savage dimes it. Oh, it gets tipped by Henson. Henson now gets the ball. Henson on her own fast break with Lyons running with her. Henson dimes it out to Banks. Banks hits the 3. Kelsey Banks, even though she had a little bit of an eye problem earlier, she checks back in the game and gets right back to it, shooting another 3. Here goes Savage now. Benson gets a screen. Benson dumps it off to Conrad. Conrad couldn't completely catch it, but it is a foul on Lady Lions, specifically Piedmont's Ava Hunter.
You mentioned the eye issue for Banks, but she saw the bottom of the net on that one. Man, this is it's bombs away in this third quarter. This offense has just found a spark that they just did not have in the first half.
Yeah, here goes Conrad at the line for 2. You know, normally Grant Piedmont, well, not Piedmont, Covenant, they average about 60 points per game, but they're at 24, and it's almost the end of the third quarter.
Yeah, it's turnovers. The last stat sheet we got, they had 22, and that's still yet to be updated. So it could be, I think, near 30 at the end of this quarter. We'll have to check at the end. But my goodness, this is just, it's a beatdown here for the Lions.
Goes Kelsey Banks now driving to her right, dishing it out to Lexi Gerard. Gerard passes it back out to Banks. Banks in the corner to Henson to Eads. Eads now is running a little bit of offense with under 35 seconds left in his third quarter. Eads drives, shoots, and it is recovered by Benson. Benson to Kennedy. Kennedy drives to her left. Kennedy makes the right. She finished with her right hand on the left side.
Unconventional.
That's very pro move of her. Now under 15 seconds, the Lions have the ball. It's Eats at the top of the key, being guarded by Savage. Eats, drives to her left. Eats sidesteps, misses, rebounded by Hunter. Hunter gets fouled by, I don't know who to be exact. Conrad.
It's a way to get some easy points to end the quarter. 2.5 left. Way to crash the offensive boards by Ava Hunter. She's had a fairly slow game today, but that doesn't distract you from being able to put some points on the board. Lions still up 30, so anything you'll take, you can get.
Ava Hunter now at the line for 2. She hits her first, giving the Lions a 31-point lead.
Quick math, yeah. Dang. This is, like I said, a complete beatdown. Just offensively, defensively, every facet the Lions have just owned these Scots today.
Goes Benson now, and that is the end of the third quarter. Piedmont up 32, 58-26, about to enter the fourth quarter to hopefully cap off this game and go 7-0 in conference. And that is the end of the third quarter. We will be back shortly for the fourth quarter. You're watching Piedmont Women's Basketball on Piedmont Athletics on YouTube. And welcome back to Piedmont Women's Basketball on Piedmont Athletics on YouTube, where your Lady Lions are up 32-58-26 on the Covenant Scots as we now start the fourth quarter. Here goes Haley Barino now with the ball for the Lions, driving to her left, giving it to Kennedy Henson, to Ashley Scott. Kelsey Banks on the right wing to be specific, gets screen set for her by Alexandra Willis. And Banks in a little bit of a trouble. Here goes Henson now. Henson driving to her right. Henson with a take, just misses. Rebounded by Benson for the Scots. Benson now dishing it off to Edson. Edson kicks it out. Here goes Benson. Benson shoots a three, misses. Rebounded by Willis. And Barino now to Banks. Banks, I thought about a three, shoots the floater instead, gets fouled and one.
I like the decision to pass up the three. You're up big. You might as well get some easy buckets, and hey, that could be 3 points in and of itself.
Yeah, Grant, in the third quarter, Piedmont went on a variety of shooting threes, and they connected with a lot of them. What can you say? What do you think was Piedmont's, you could say, saving grace in that third quarter?
Ball movement, really. The turnovers were still prevalent by the Scots, which, by the way, Covenant has 25 turnovers. That was at least at the end of the third quarter, but the ball movement was a lot better. They looked like they were making a lot better connections, and plus, when you're hot, so that helps. A lot of good shooters on the outside that these Lions utilized to get that big run. 27-7, they outscored them in the third quarter.
Benson now being guarded by Banks. Driving to her left. Here goes Edson, driving to her right. Picked up the ball. Jab step number 3, Fuller. And there is a fight on the court for the ball between Banks and Edson. Foul on Banks.
I thought that was just going to be a jump ball. Yeah, interesting call. I mean, I guess it's right. She was on the ground. She had to flail the arm a little bit, and that's probably going to warrant a foul call.
As Savage looks to be taking the ball out on the eye of Piedmont for the Scots. Oh, foul on Kennedy Henson. That was a very quick inbounds pass, you could say. That was Savage to number 22, Witt, as Witt will now go to the line for two. Like you said, Grant, Abby Witt played most of this game so far. 25 minutes maybe, added that on, maybe 27.
Yeah, she's had a good game, all things considered. Maybe offensively, besides rebounding, not the best. But if Covenant hasn't done anything right tonight, they ran that inbounds play correctly. That shows the evidence that this team has worked really hard in practice. It's just tough to execute in certain games,
especially against this #1 team in Piedmont. I mean, their defense is luxurious.
Amen, Daniel.
Here goes Barino now with the ball for the Lady Lions, being guarded by Savage. Barino crosses to her right, her left, my mistake, and gets fouled. And that foul will be on 23, Breezy Savage. Barino now go to the line for 2 free throws.
He'll take the 2 free throws. It looked like Barino had her eye down the entire way. She had Ashley Scott open in the corner, but 2 points is 2 points, plus she'll slow the game down a little bit, I guess.
And Barino connects with her first free throw of the game. And Piedmont's up a lot of points right now, 61-28 with 8 minutes still left in this game. It's Barino It's a little lucky bounce and gets her second free throw to go as she will now come out for Nene Eats.
Like you said, they're up a lot. It's kind of tough to count at this point. I think if my math's correct, that's 34. They're more than doubling the Scots right now.
Here's the Scots now. Here goes Fuller. And it's a little bit of a kickball. And it will remain Scots basketball. They will now take it out on the side.
That play does prevent a fast break, so I guess smart LeBron James type defense from Kennedy Henson.
And it's Breezy giving it to Fuller. Fuller now driving to her right. Crossed over, getting the screen set for her. Goes Benson back to Witt, to Fuller, and Fuller travels. And that is another Covenant Scots turnover. I don't know how many they have so far, but it's very much a lot.
It's a lot. They had 25 at the end of the third quarter. I believe the number is somewhere up by 27 or 28 now.
And Emmeline Rott will now check in for Alexandra Willis. As you stated earlier, Grant, you know, Emmeline now gets her first minutes of the game. Not somebody who normally plays, but because of this large lead that Piedmont has, a little bit of playtime can, you know, come in for her.
Yeah, and thankfully these players, they have good starting pieces, so players like Ralt don't have to play too much, and they get a good mentor and some good experience for their junior and senior year.
It's now Ashley Scott with the ball. Driving to her right, gets it to Eats. He's now backing it up a little bit, getting a little offense going. To Henson. Henson gets a screen set for her by Ralt. Henson drops it off to Ralt. Ralt shoots two, doesn't get fouled, but here goes Covenant now. Going the other way, goes Fuller. Fuller to Savage. Savage to Benson. Benson to Edson. Edson crosses over on Ralt. Edson's back to Fuller. Fuller drops a dime to Breezy, back out to three. And there goes Breezy with a three ball for Covenant. And it's a steal by Breezy, and she hits another two-pointer. I mean, she's playing with a lot of effort, Grant, but I mean, it might be just a little bit too late for her team.
Yeah, I don't think there's much of a chance for a comeback here. Crazier things have happened, but you're up 29. But at least props to Savage for staying in it. A lot of teams, a lot of players would kind of get dejected in a deficit like this, but play through the whistle. It's what a lot of coaches teach.
Emmeline Ralt. Here goes Covenant now. Benson driving and just gets it stripped, and it is a turnover for Covenant once again. As Riley Bryan went on check in for the Lady Lions, checking in for Kelsey Banks. As Riley Bryan now getting the ball to inbound, being guarded by Kennedy. Kennedy playing really tight defense on Bryan. Here goes Eats now being guarded by Savage. Dumps it off to Ralt. Ralt looking to pass. Gives it back out to Eats. Eats drives to her right. Eats shoots a layup. Eats gets fouled once again. She will go to the line for, that's her fifth, sixth time going to the line today?
Yeah, a lot of free throws coming from Eads. That play was nice. Just it's a simple pick and roll, but the pick wasn't used. It's some floor spacing, getting Ralt an easy pass into Eads. Ralt gathered two defenders on her and gave Eads an easy lane. They had three on the right side as well. It's a little bit of basketball analysis going on by me, but I love that play design. Ralt's a lefty on the left side, so it worked really well.
Eads hits one of her two free throws to give Piedmont a 30-point lead with 6 minutes and 35 seconds left in this game. There goes Savage now, being guarded by Eads, now being guarded by Scott. Scott picked her up heavily. And there is a little bit of confusion between Covenants. And here goes. That shot was shot by Slayton, who missed. But it's a foul on the floor on Piedmont. Foul on 33 Ralt. And Andre will now check in for number 12, Benson.
By the way, Breezy Savage is the only Scot to make a three so far, and she's 1 for 5 as well, so not fairly efficient at all.
Here goes Slayton now missing from three. Recovered by Bryan. Bryan gets the rebound. She's now dribbling up the court, giving it to Henson. Henson to Eads. Eads being guarded by Slayton. This Eads now looking to run a little bit of offense. Like a little bit of an ISO opportunity for Eads. Crossover to her left, shoots the floater. Easy money for Nene Eads. Nene Eads has been having an amazing game. In double figures so far, and she's playing great defense, as we see here now. Here goes Covenant, now goes Kennedy. And just misses, recovered, rebounded by Henson. Henson to Scott. Scott now driving down on the right side, giving it to Eads. Eads to Brian. Brian to Henson. Henson back out to Scott. Ashley Scott hits another three. That is her second three of the game. Ashley Scott heating up in the second half so far. Here goes Breezy Savage now, being guarded by Eats. To Andre. To Slayton. Slayton on the right, being guarded by Ashley Scott. Slayton with a little in and out cross. And goes Kennedy. To Witt. Witt dropping to her right, being almost stolen again by. And here goes Savage shooting a three, rims out. It's almost made. Here goes Scott. Scott not waiting for the other lines to get down the court. Here goes Riley Bryan, almost thinking about a three. Riley Bryan now on the left side, getting a screen set for her by Emmeline. Here goes Bryan, dumps it off to Ralt. Ralt throws to the corner. Ashley Scott thinking about a three. Ashley Scott now drops to her right. Oh my God, Ashley Scott! Ashley Scott makes Savage fall and hits the two-pointer.
My goodness, Damian. Hit the deck.
You do not expect to see that every day. Here goes Angie for three for the Scots. Angie misses. Rebounded by Nene Eats, who's been everywhere all over today. She falls over now. And it is a timeout on Piedmont. Man, Ashley Scott with the move of the century. Fakes like she's driving to her right, then spins to her left and hits the shot. Piedmont up 70-33 late in this fourth quarter with 4 minutes left. I mean, man, Grant, that was wild.
Something. That was something.
But we will be back shortly. Piedmont Wins Basketball on Piedmont Athletics on YouTube. Welcome back to Piedmont Women's Basketball on Piedmont Athletics on YouTube. As now looks like Coach Purdy has now put in the bench, as there are no more starters left in this game. As Piedmont is now up 70-33 with 4 minutes and 6 seconds left in this game on the Covenant Scots.
So for the Lions, it's Ralt, Barino, Brooke Godown, the freshman.
Godown with the ball now, driving to her right, spins back to her left, now behind the back to her right, looking to get some offense going. Riley Bryan on the left wing. Riley Bryan drops it off to Ralt. Ralt just loses the ball. It's Covenant now on their fast break. And it's tipped out by Barino. Man, Grant, I mean, Covenant's been throwing these, you could say, lazy passes. There's been a lot of tip passes, stolen passes so far in this game.
It's been a lot of telegraph passes, too. That's something you're taught not to do. Is there's a timeout, but we'll work through it. Just a lot of those interesting passes that you don't really want to see. That's led to them having 27 turnovers in the day. We mentioned that pregame, which that was going to be an issue, and the Lions have kept that offensive and defensive pressure up, and it's led to a lot of errant passes, like you mentioned.
Yeah, Grant, and everybody's watching the broadcast right now. We have another game after this, Piedmont men's basketball against the Covenant men's basketball team at 7 o'clock. So you guys stay tuned for that game.
It's a little doubleheader today at the Cave. I mean, Lookout Mountain's not too far away. It's 30 minutes to get down that mountain anyway, but pretty close proximity, I'd say. Men's team, that should be an exciting game as well, but these Lady Lions have just dominated.
Yeah, you are right. I mean, the Lady Lions, after this game, they will head on the road, though, for a 2-game road stint against Maryville on the 24th of January, and right after that, day after, January 25th, they play at Asbury. So Lady Lions do have some more games coming up after this for sure.
And so they'll improve to 7-0. Obviously, they're going to win this game. But improve to 7-0 in that 2-game road stint, Maryville, Asbury, like you said, that's back-to-back days on road games. So maybe they're kind of lucky that Andelin Hill was out today. Hopefully her back will be better for that stretch. But it'll be a tough stretch of games, and the Lions will look to improve to get this 9-0 in the CCS.
Forward Jordan Vernon now checking in the game for Piedmont. Lexi Hall shoots a 3, just misses. And that will now be Covenant's ball as freshman Ariana Bell checks in for the Lions.
Looks like we got an all-freshman lineup here, minus Gerard, the sophomore. For Coach Purdy, I love it. That bench, you could see when Gerard shot that 3, that bench got antsy. They were waiting for her to score.
Here goes Covenant now, breaking that Piedmont press. Here goes for Arbery, misses. Rebounded by Bell, the freshman, as you said, Grant. Bell now bringing the ball down for the Lady Lions. Bell on the right side gets almost stripped by Kennedy, and it exactly stolen. Here goes Covenant now, looking for score, misses. Here goes, and it's a foul on Piedmont's number 23, Jordan Vernon. Her first minutes of the game.
She'll get involved in the stat sheet with that foul. That's not a horrible thing. You at least you're playing a physical ball. That was a tough little scuffle. So I mean, you don't like to see it, but you like to see it.
Also, a little minute ago, Kavana Bonnier checked in the game as well for the Piedmont Lady Lions. As that was Edson who shot and airballed, as it will now be Piedmont's basketball. Looks like Covenant's now in a little bit of a press. It's Ariana Bell, my mistake. Goes Brooke go down, showing the handles off a little bit. Crossover to her right, backs the ball out now. Running some offense. It goes Vernon. Vernon dropped to her right. Vernon misses. And Covenant now on the fast break. And Covenant shoots, makes it. That is number 10, Rosden. Here goes Lexi Hall now for the Lions. Shoots, misses, it actually gets stripped. Here goes Rosden now looking to pass to somebody, getting trapped in a corner. And she will get the ball out. Here goes Edson now to the corner. Arsbury misses and is out. Piedmont's ball.
Might be time, if you're Covenant, to go back to the drawing board on these shots. There have been a lot of turnarounds, like I said, those motion shots that are tough to make, and they haven't been falling. You might want to try to make some offenses up in practice if you're not going to, if you don't want to keep this up, you're going to have to go with those easy layups, those motion offenses. That might be kind of the way to go.
My mistake, by the way. Her last name is Andrew.
Ah, I see.
Goes Gerard now, driving down, being guarded by Kennedy, and Gerard spins a little bit. Here goes Go Down, the top of the key. Go Down, driving down her right. Here goes Bonnier. Bonnier driving to her left. She's fouled. Or maybe not. It is a offensive foul on Jordan Vernon, trying to set the screen.
It's always tough to set a good pick, especially this late in the game when the pace is a little bit different. It's hard to set your feet once you get through that contact. A lot of times in order to brace, you want to move your leg back, but tough break for Vernon. Doesn't distract from just this amazing performance from the Lions. I mean, they've doubled the Covenant score. Just an insane defensive night.
Yeah, man. I mean, also the shooting in the second half was like stellar. I mean, we couldn't really make shots in the first half. I don't know if because we had dead legs from when we played Sunday, but I mean, the second half, Piedmont came out and really showed why they're the #1 team in the conference, even though we didn't even have our best player, Adeline Hill. As that three was made by Slayton. Here goes Brooke Go Down for the Lions. I know this is a very special moment for her parents, probably watching, their daughter getting her first couple college minutes. The freshmen don't really play like that for Piedmont, but when you do see them go in, it's a very special moment.
think it's a sense of pride for sure. You spend all that time, you know, when you're younger, your formative years, playing little league, high school, middle school, all that, and then seeing your girls get some reps. It's really nice to see.
As it is a travel call now on Bonnier. Here now with under a minute, Piedmont women's basketball up 70-38 on the Covenant Scots, as Covenant misses another three, and it is a scramble on the ground, and it will remain Covenant's ball. As Slayton will now inbound the ball for the Covenant Scots with 50 seconds left in this game. Here goes Savage to Slayton. Slayton shoots another three. Slayton airballs, rebounded by Go Down. Go Down now on a fast break. Backing the ball out. Go Down at the top of the key. Go Down looking to run a little bit of offense. Here goes Gerard now looking to set a pick for her. Actually picked by Vernon. Go Down. And it is an offensive foul on Brooke Go Down. Slayton taking a charge call. Is there now 28 seconds left in this game? And Breezy Savage now with the ball being guarded by Lexi Gerard. Dumped off to Wosden. She's fouled by Vernon, and that is her third foul of the game. Wosden at the line for two as she missed her first free throw. Makes her second. That gives Covenant 39. Goes Brooke Go Down. Being a little bit trapped by the Covenant Scots, looking to throw to somebody. Here goes Ariana Bell. Bell now with the ball, and it is almost stolen by Covenant once again. Bell trying to get the ball to somebody. She gets trapped, and that is the end of the game. Your Piedmont Women Lady Lions 70, Covenant Scots 39. This is a very, you could say, blowout type of game, as you know, Piedmont really showed why they're #1 team in conference once again. And even without Andelin Hill, Piedmont showed that, you know, they're the best team in this conference so far, and hopefully they can throw that throughout the season, throughout the rest of this season, as they, you know, enter the CCS playoffs in just a little bit. But as you see, the Piedmont men's basketball team is about to face off against the Covenant men's basketball team in just a little bit. I want to say thank you, Damian Trailer, my partner Grant Prather, and guy on the camera, Peter Sly. And we are signing out Piedmont women's basketball on Piedmont Athletics on YouTube.
What's up, guys? Here post-game with Nene Eads. Big game for you offensively and defensively. You guys forced 27 turnovers. You forced 5 of them yourself. What went into your defensive performance today?
We just knew that we had to pick it up. We're lacking one of our main players out there that usually gets rebounds for us and steals, so we knew we just all had to go out there and pick up the intensity. So that's exactly what we did.
Yeah, great job. You also had a lot of free throws. You went 11 for 12 from the stripe. Why do you think you did so good with that? That was good to watch.
They were playing hard, so I know to take it. My teammates always encourage me, Nate, you can beat people on the drive, so that's what I try to do. I've been practicing on the free throws, so I just went in there, took it, knocked down the free throws.
A great conference win for you guys. You guys improved to 7-0 in the CCS. Got a 2-game road stint coming up against Maryville and Asbury, so you guys stay tuned for the men's game, and we will see you guys in a bit.
Thank y'all. Is that all?